Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Grandma Ray Don't Play, and I'm Rachel. This message is for anyone that is a homeowner or a landlord, or you know someone, your children or your parents or whoever, that own property. This message is for them. So we're coming down on the end of the restrictions due to the infection that have plagued us nationwide. And so we have to now start thinking about finances and how we're going to survive, right? Okay, so I want to give you a little background of my own. I used to be a landlord 30 some years. That was a long time. I started out at age 22. So specifically what I want to touch on is tenants. When you have tenants and it comes down to you having to take them to court for non-payment of rent, it's better for you if you can negotiate something with them. Because if you have to take them to court, you don't know how that's going to turn out for you. Usually not good. Nobody gets put out instantly, okay? So if you think you've had some weeks where you didn't receive rent, try months that you may not receive rent, because a judge is going to take in consideration their circumstance, how many in their family, and a lot of different factors. And they look at it as you're the one with the deep pockets, so you can take the punishment more than they can. So it's better to make a deal with them if you can, okay? But I want to give you some other options, because some landlords are out there. You were already barely making it, and now due to this epidemic and some people who weren't able to pay rent, you're really behind. You're concerned about your credit getting hit on this because you couldn't pay your mortgage. You may have several buildings that this is going on, or maybe you have just your own house and you still couldn't pay the mortgage. Okay, so I have some options that I hope will help you during this crisis, because we're about, maybe I say, of 6 weeks away before the last extra $600 from unemployment is going to be paid, as far as we know. And they may come out with a new bill that will keep that going. But right now we only can deal with what we know, and that is the extra $600 that you're getting weekly from unemployment, or those others, tenants or whoever, is getting weekly from unemployment, will end the last day of July. So let's go down some things that you can do. Okay, so you have a 401k maybe. Maybe you work a job, or you work jobs and you have a 401k out there. You can now borrow without any penalty into your 401k due to this epidemic. Okay, and you have years to pay back. I think, don't quote me on this for sure, I think it's around 4 years to pay back, give or take. Okay, so that's something that you can consider, because what could you do with that money that you can tap into to your 401k? So it says you can go up to 100,000, but be realistic, okay? Only tap in what you think you can pay back within that time frame. Don't go crazy asking for more than you want to come out of your paycheck, because then what would you do? Okay, or if you don't have a paycheck, maybe you have a business, you know how much excess that you can pay back monthly. So don't go beyond that, okay? Okay, so things that you can do with the 401k. With your 401k, you can pay your rearage for your mortgage. So maybe you have just a single family or two family. You can catch up your mortgage that you owe. Or maybe you're a landlord that you own several businesses. And all of those businesses are rental incomes. Maybe you can catch up on that, okay? Okay, you can pay off your credit cards. That's something that if I was you, I would consider whether I take the 401k or not. But if you have some cash hanging around in the bank and your interest rates is through the roof, I would definitely see if I can move the you know, like open up another credit line to get rid of this one over here that is charging you a high interest rate, and maybe the one you open up is 0, so you can play catch up, okay? You have to do something about the credit cards, because if you don't do that, not only will the mortgage ruin your credit, but also these credit cards, okay? Car notes, major problem, major problem. So the car note, the credit cards can all get eliminated with this 401k loan, okay? Or maybe you're going to get a personal loan and try to eliminate some of these bills. So if you put them all into one basket, then you're only paying one note versus you're paying a car note over here, a high interest credit card here, and maybe you have 5 of those high interest credit cards. You got to pay each one of those a piece of pie. So when you finish, you're paying out a bunch of money to a bunch of different companies, and on top of that, the interest. And whereas if you just get a loan or get your 401k, you're only paying it to one company. So you're not compounding all these interest rates, okay? Okay, you can also pay your water bill, your tax bill. All of these things may be due or overdue, okay? So you know, if you don't pay your water bill or your taxes, the city can take your property for that, right? My first house that I bought, which was a 2-family house, I bought from the city because somebody didn't pay their taxes on it. So they will confiscate your property for if you don't pay the water bill or the tax bill. So you want to definitely make sure that that's not owed, okay? Okay, so another thing you can do is you can refinance your property. So let's say you have some equity in your property. Equity is when you've been faithfully paying your property, the value is up, and so the difference of what you owe versus what the value of the property is selling for now is your equity. So you can borrow against that. So you know, or you could take that equity and you can eliminate a lot of bills, right? So that you now just have that one mortgage that you're paying. If you feel you want to do that, I think that that's a good idea to do that if you have all these a bunch of little bills out there that is consuming all of your money. Because at this point we really have to now rethink life different than we was thinking before, because we have got to realize that if they could shut the nation down this time, oh, they can do that at any time. So now we have to now rethink how we live, okay? Okay. So you can consider selling if you can move to a cheaper location or state, okay? Consider selling. If that's something that you've been thinking about, toying about all along anyway, consider, is this now the time? Is now the time for you to unload so that you can survive? Because I think that life is dictating to us what we should do now. Okay? Okay. Look into your health plan. You know, a lot of us, we're paying for health coverage these days and we couldn't even go into the hospital. Okay, I mean really, and so that didn't work for us. So consider looking at your health plan, seeing how you can get off cheaper on that. You know, maybe you can save $100 or $200 a month on that, and look into that. Okay, all right. Maybe you can. Maybe you have multiple properties. Maybe you can sell one. Maybe one you can sell, or two to help with the money so that you can bail out the others that you want to keep, because maybe the value is more profitable in the other ones. These are things that you need to really now look into. Definitely look into. I would not suggest buying now unless you come across a great deal that you could pay cash and you have the cash. Other than that, it's not a good time to buy now. Okay? All right. Sell any equipment, extra cars, boats, jewelry that you have. Just sell it, because now you need to gain finances. Just start stockpiling your money. Okay? All right. Any vacation home you have, or timeshare, or second home you have, I would sell it, because at this point, on being locked down, you don't need it. You can't go to it, so you don't need it. So these are the things that I would now liquidate. The party is over. You know, living high on the hog is over. It's survival time. All right? Okay, let's see. Don't eat out. Cut down on all waste. Okay? Okay, now this is for all landlords. All landlords. And this is a great idea that I came up with. I love it. If you can, I would consider putting in separate meters for each apartment for the water. I remember when I was a landlord, the water bill was through the roof. Okay? And I had a four family, I had 3 families, I had 2 families. The water bill was always through the roof. And you know, why didn't I think of that then? It would be great if you can put in a water meter going to each apartment so that they can pay their own fair share of the water bill. Because some people just waste water, some people just let it run unnecessarily, and this could take that load right off of you. Okay, I would definitely look into that if I were a landlord that had property that I rented out to different tenants. Okay, okay, so let's see. I hope you like that one. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk to you about, in negotiating with your tenants, if you are a landlord, don't take the high road, because now you all are, you need them and they need you. You need them to come up with the money they owe you, because if you think that you're going to send them out and you're going to get the next one, well, the next one just went through the infection that plagued us nationwide also. So are they going to be in any better shape than that one? Probably not. You know, you're probably actually going to get the next headache. Okay? So it's better to deal with the headache that you know than to deal with the headache that you don't know. Okay? So that's one thing I would do. Now, what if a tenant came to you and they wanted to negotiate their rent? Now is the time for you to consider. Maybe you go up every year. So maybe you can say, okay, well, I won't go up this year. Your rent will stay the same. That would probably work. Or if you have someone and they say, well, I'm paying too much rent, and this epidemic have taught me that I don't need to be paying out this much money anymore. It's time for you to negotiate and see if you can come down on the rent to keep the tenant, especially if they're a paying tenant. Okay, so bite your tongue, landlords. Dip in your pocket a little bit and take the hit, okay, and try to make it up some other way, like that, putting the water bill in their name. Now that would make it up, okay? So I'm telling you this because you don't want to negotiate in court, because when you go to court, they're going to send you to a mediator, and they're going to try to still come up with an agreement that you could have came up with the tenant. And if you wait till you get in court, now the tenant is mad at you because now you got them in court and they're nervous and they don't know what's going to happen and they don't know where they're going to live when you finish talking and when they finish talking. It's a lot better for you to just negotiate with them, okay? So try to do that and try to get through this. All things do pass eventually, okay? And hopefully this will pass, okay? And it'd be also nice if you would consider other people's concerns and needs, like you could have called them once in a while, say hi, how you doing, I'm just saying hello, and make sure everything is all right, to show concern and support, okay? How about that, huh? Okay, so let me think. Now, I wanted to also tell you this. If you're a landlord and you just had enough, you just can't take anymore, you don't want to go with the ups and downs, your option always is to sell. You can sell, okay? And if you sell, you got to figure out how you're not going to get hit with the capital gains tax. I understand that in the next proposal, it was proposed, not passed, but proposed, that they might give some kind of break for capital gains tax. If so, it might be a way out for you. It's something for you to consider. And also, I wanted to tell you is, if you're just in real estate alone and you're not in no other type of investment, you might want to diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because as you can see, if all of your eggs is in real estate, how this worked out for you, it's not going to work out 100%. It's not going to work out the way you thought. So if you put your little money here and some of it somewhere else, like maybe you'll have some other type of investments that pay you monthly, or maybe you invented something, or maybe you're into stocks, I don't know. Just consider having your money in several different areas versus one area, so that if something happens with the one area, you still have some money coming in so that you can survive, okay? How about that, huh? Okay, and other things that you can consider is maybe you have some parents and they have a house and you're constantly taking care of your parents' house and constantly taking care of your house. Maybe you might want to consider a property where they're all under the same roof as you. Maybe they're in an apartment on the first floor and you're in an apartment up over there, something like that, so that you can cut the cost. They can save, you can save, you don't have to run cross town, and it just works, okay? Okay, so all of those things I would definitely consider, because when you consider all of those facts that I told you about, the water bill, the 401k, a personal loan, refinancing, selling the second house or summer home, all of these facts can make a big difference, okay? And just remember, You don't have to survive just this epidemic. You got to survive the next one and the next one, because I think a lot of these surprises are going to be permanent. I hate to say it, but I really think they're going to be permanent. And you want to be better prepared. This got us all by surprise. 100% by surprise. And we still have to survive it no matter what. Okay, so I hope that all is well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please share the video with other investors, your children, anyone you know that have property, anyone you know that's struggling, and so that they all can figure out a way out. And don't let time lapse before you move on this. We have about 6 weeks before the last unemployment stimulus of $600 end, and then all of this is gonna come dropping down in our laps. Okay, thank you for hanging around. Thank you for sharing. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. I try to bring you helpful information, and I hope this helps you in the long run. Share the video. Share this video. Very important that you share the video. And subscribe. Don't forget to check out the links below. I have a GoFundMe and a Patreon if you would like to support this channel in any way. And until next time, be blessed. Bye-bye.